Have you ever heard someone talking about you in a foreign language? Growing up as one of the only Asian kids in my small town, my mom always made me go to Mandarin school on weekends. I hated it. Every Saturday morning while my friends were watching cartoons, I was stuck learning characters I'd never use. By high school, I barely remembered anything except basic phrases. But then Jessica transferred to our school. She was this super popular cheerleader who always had perfect hair and designer clothes, and for some reason, she decided to make my life hell. She'd accidentally knock my books over in the hallway or whisper about my clothes to her friends when I walked by. Classic mean girl stuff. But what really got to me was how she'd mock Asian accents whenever I was around, thinking she was hilarious. One day, I was working my shift at the local bubble tea shop when Jessica walked in with her friends. They sat at a table right by the counter, and I heard her say, "Ugh, I can't believe they let these people handle our food." That's when I had an idea. See, two of our regular customers were these sweet old Chinese ladies who came in every Tuesday for their weekly gossip session. They always ordered the same thing, jasmine tea with boba, half sugar. The next time Jessica came in, I waited until Mrs. Wu and Mrs. Zhang were there. As Jessica ordered, I spoke to them in my rusty Mandarin, loud enough for Jessica to hear. This girl at school loves making fun of Chinese people. She thinks we can't understand her. Mrs. Wu's eyes lit up with mischief. For the next 20 minutes, they had the loudest conversation in Mandarin, pointing at Jessica and laughing. Jessica kept glancing over nervously, clearly uncomfortable. This became our weekly routine. Every time Jessica came in, I'd tell the ladies something new about her, how she cheated on her math test, or how her designer bags were actually fakes from the mall. They'd react dramatically, gasping and giggling. Jessica started coming in less and less. When she did, she'd grab her drink and practically run out. But then came the day of the big cheerleading competition. Jessica and her whole squad came in for pre-game bubble tea. Mrs. Wu and Mrs. Zhang were there as always. This time though, Jessica marched up to me and said in broken Mandarin, "I know you're talking about me." The entire shop went silent. Then Mrs. Wu burst out laughing and said in perfect English, "Oh honey, I was the head of the English department at Beijing University for 30 years. We've understood every nasty thing you've said about Amy." Mrs. Zhang chimed in, also in perfect English, "And those designer bags? My daughter works for Louis Vuitton. Those fakes aren't fooling anyone." Jessica's face turned redder than the strawberry boba. Her squad stood there with their mouths open as she ran out, leaving her drink behind. She never came back to the bubble tea shop after that. But word got around school fast. Turned out a lot of those useless Mandarin lessons came in handy after all. And now every Tuesday at 3 p.m., you'll find me having tea with Mrs. Wu and Mrs. Zhang. We still gossip in Mandarin, but these days, it's mostly them trying to set me up with their grandsons. Last week, Jessica transferred schools. I heard it was because everyone kept asking her to say something in Mandarin whenever she tried to be mean. Funny how things work out.